TV Crazy Man here. In this video we go back to the Old West again with the original Maverick TV series that ran from 1957 to 1962 with some fun goofs that might leave you scratching your head and some amazing facts. Learn about the Warner Brothers TV Western shared universe that existed way before Marvel ever dreamed of its cinematic universe of characters. Find out which actor had the most appearances as a Maverick from the original all the way to the 90s. Find out how I can prove that F-Troop was in the same universe as Maverick, and what part did Batman, Adam West, play in this world. And learn about the Western that featured two Batmen standing side by side. Also take a quick look at the nearly forgotten Young Maverick and its exciting TV movie that reunited Bart and Bret Maverick once again. All this and more as we go back to the Old West, starting with Maverick Goofs. On the episode Black Fire, Maverick's horse changes colors twice. On the episode Stage West, Maverick arrives just in time for a murder. The bad guys prop their victim up in the corner next to a wall that seems to disappear. Either that or the dead guy is moving around. In the angle from the bar, you can see that his hat is actually touching the wall, where he's leaning back on it. And then in the next angle, it looks like he's moved around, and dead guys ought not to move around.
Yep.
In that same episode, I found a car running in the background. I have to wonder what old Pappy would say if he saw a car in the Old West.
You know, friend, a man can lose more than his money with talk like that.
On the episode The Third Rider, Bart jumps off a baggage car and changes clothes in the middle of the jump somehow. Here's one for the Twilight Zone on the episode Rope of Cards.
Seems you don't need no license to go shooting off your mouth.
When Charlie here is seen on the witness stand and sitting in the courtroom at the same time. Either he's really fast, he is a twin, or maybe this is just a case of a doppelganger. But it is strange when you think about it.
What happened?
Don't ask.
Marshal, we won't even budge.
Marshal?
On the episode Royal for Flush, say that 5 times fast, an overhead microphone appears in the corner, or at least maybe the shadow of one, which means somebody is listening in to Maverick's conversation before microphones even existed. I did a whole video on things like this I blame on time travel, but this time I won't say something as silly as that. No, this time I think it was aliens from Mars. I wonder what happened to the letters on the train car on the episode Easy Mark.
Don't ask.
Of course, if you flip the film around, the letters look normal. You know, the funny thing about goofs is that everybody makes them, especially me, and wouldn't life be kind of boring without them? I mean, it's better to laugh at one's mistakes than cry, I always say. Or was it my old Pappy that said that?
As my old Pappy once said, in the midst of life, we are in jail.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. In the episode, with the title that sounds like Marquesa or Marquesa, I think, the lady grabs a gun, shoots at the bad guy, then immediately drops the gun, only to apparently pick it back up really quickly so Bart can take it away again. In the episode Misfortune Teller, Bret Maverick grabs a wrench as a weapon, but I wonder if he knows it's made out of rubber. See how it wobbles, bending back and forth like cheap rubber? On the episode The Bundle from Britain, the saloon seems to grow larger inside once the fight breaks out. They likely grabbed some footage from a movie to save time and money. The same thing happened on an episode of F-Troop I did a video on a while back. I wonder if it was the same movie. This isn't really a goof, more of an interesting point of fact. Have you ever wondered how they got those interior shots of stagecoaches, as if there was no wall on one side of the coach? Because I'm pretty sure that was exactly the case. Because I'm also pretty sure that X-ray vision cameras weren't a thing. On the episode Kiz, I found a couple of 1930s cars. And this one is likely due to the use of stock footage. Or maybe time travel. I'm just not prepared to completely rule out time travel as a possibility. But regardless of how the cars got there, it is always fun to find cars in the Old West.
Thanks.
Okay, let's look at some fun trivia facts. I have a few more Maverick Goofs at the end that I posted in previous videos, just in case you missed them before. Did you know that Buddy Ebsen and Max Baer Jr. from the Beverly Hillbillies both guest starred on Maverick 3 times each? Buddy even tried to rob the Mavericks on Bret Maverick's final appearance on the original Maverick series on the episode The Maverick Line. That was when James Garner quit over a contract dispute.
Sit down and put your spines together.
Give me your wallets. Come on, get out.
Well, it was hard putting food on the table before Jed struck it rich. Speaking of guest stars, the episode Hadley's Hunters had a bonanza of classic TV Western cameos featuring Will Hutchins from Sugarfoot.
Nope, never saw him in my life.
There was Clint Walker as Cheyenne, although he doesn't interact with Bart, so it's probably just a clip taken from his show.
Hey, wait!
There was John Russell and Peter Brown from Lawman.
Thank you very much.
Ty Carden from Bronco popped up.
Hey, you all right here?
Now I know for a fact the saloon fight movie clip they used for Bronco's cameo here was the same one from F Troop. So does that mean then that this fight took place in Sergeant O'Rourke's saloon? You gotta wonder. Ed Burns from 77 Sunset Strip popped up even though his show was set in the present. They put a Western spin on his cameo. There was a reference to Colt 45 where Bart walks into a deserted office. The star of Colt 45 was nowhere to be seen, likely due to the fact the show had been canceled recently. This episode also featured Edgar Buchanan from Petticoat Junction. You know him as Uncle Joe, moving kind of slow. And then there was Howard McNear from The Andy Griffith Show, George Kennedy, and Robert Colbert from The Time Tunnel. Later, he would play Brent Maverick when Roger Moore quit, but he only got to be in a couple of episodes as Maverick.
I've seen you somewhere before. Wouldn't know where it could be.
Did you know that Will Hutchins also guest starred on the season 4 episode Bolt from the Blue, playing a character that was intended to make you wonder if he was playing Sugarfoot or maybe not? He was simply known as the lawyer, and he helped keep Beau Maverick from hanging.
You're the one they call Sugarfoot.
Sugarfoot? Never heard of him.
Jack Kelly appeared as Bart Maverick in the Sugarfoot episode A Price on His Head. James Garner made an appearance as Bret Maverick at the end of the episode Misfire.
What's your name?
Maverick, ma'am. Bret Maverick.
They basically had a TV Western universe carved out decades before Marvel had their famous cinematic universe of characters sharing screen time together. Adam West, Batman himself, played on 3 episodes of Maverick as 3 different characters, but he was also part of the shared Warner Brothers TV Western universe as Doc Holliday, whom he played once on the series Lawman, once on Colt 45, and once on Sugarfoot. He also appeared as other characters on the series Cheyenne, Colt 45, and Bronco.
Holy memory bank!
On the Sugarfoot episode Trial of the Canary Kid with Adam West as Doc, Peter Brown played his lawman character, and in the courtroom scene, Batman Adam West testified before the judge, played by the voice of the Super Friends Batman, Olaon Soul, years before either would be the Cape Crusader.
But that's impossible!
On Maverick, Roger Moore played Beau Maverick for 15 episodes. His first Maverick episode was as another character. Of course, his most famous role would be that of Secret Agent James Bond. You know, it would have been awesome if he played a secret agent on the Wild Wild West. I mean, I think it would be pretty awesome to see James West and James Bond on the same screen together. James Garner was in 64 original episodes of Maverick.
Naturally, I'm flattered.
Jack Kelly was in more episodes of the original series with a total of 83 episodes.
Clever. Whose idea was that?
But if you count the series Bret Maverick from 1981, that's another 18 episodes for Garner, putting him up to 82 episodes.
Right now, I'm getting pretty tired of the whole thing.
But Kelly appeared in 1 episode of that series, so that puts him at 84. But then they were both in the TV movie New Maverick in 1978.
Well, Pappy used to say, if you're going to steal, steal from kin. They're less liable to put the law on you.
Which led to the short-lived series Young Maverick in 1979. Unfortunately, in the TV movie, Bart doesn't show up until almost at the end. It starts with Bart being presumed dead and Bret thinking back to the old days.
He isn't dead.
Even though we quickly find out that Bret knows Bart isn't really dead.
Casket is only 5 feet long. If that's Bart in there, they had to bury him folded.
Sadly, only 8 episodes were made of the series Young Maverick. IMDb claims James Garner appeared on the first episode, but I watched it last night and I can tell you he's definitely not on there. He and Bart just appear on a TV movie. Young Maverick told us of the adventures of Beau's son, who was played by Charles Frank. Kelly appeared in a TV movie The Gambler Returns to Luck of the Draw as Bart Maverick, so that brings his total to 86. That was his last accredited role according to IMDb. If we count the Maverick motion picture in 1994, where James Garner plays Bret Maverick's pappy, that brings him up to 84.
What do you do for a living?
Pictures.
Now, I know it doesn't really count, but you know, I kind of always thought of the two movies, Support Your Local Sheriff and Support Your Local Gunfighter, as comedic episodes of Maverick. But I guess we can't count those.
You hit that fella from behind.
Just as hard as I could.
But I forgot to add in their guest appearances on Sugarfoot, putting Kelly at 87 and Garner at 85. But basically they're almost even, which is kind of interesting considering the great span of time that occurred. That is, unless I goofed on the math somewhere, which is very possible. Did you notice that every first name of a Maverick starts with the letter B? There's Bret Maverick, Bart Maverick, Beau Maverick, Brent Maverick, and Ben Maverick. I'm not sure what Pappy's first name was, though. Let me know in the comments if you know. Am I missing any more names? Maverick had a couple of great parodies of the competition. One was a parody of Gunsmoke, and the other was Bonanza in the episode Three Queens Full. Jim Backus from Gilligan's Island plays Joe Wheelwright as a stand-in for Ben Cartwright, followed by Bonanza clones Small Paul for Little Joe, Henry for Adam, and Big Moose for Hoss.
You want me to hit him again, Paul?
Spoofing Gunsmoke was the episode Gun Shy.
How many men you shot this month for aggravating you a lot less than he has?
This episode had its own funny version of Chester, Doc, Miss Kitty, and Matt Dillon, named Mort Dooley.
Shall I stand a little closer, Marshal?
Marshal Dooley can't stand Maverick, and he keeps trying to run him out of town. Using friendly persuasion, of course.
Well, you're not going to shoot me.
That's what I usually do.
Now get ready and see if you can spot the goof. Did you catch it? Okay, see if you can catch it now. I mean, what a place to park your car, right in the middle of making a Western. Now here's a couple more goofs that I found in previous videos. In the episode The Judas Mask, featuring Bart Maverick, this party scene seems to have power lines in the background.
Thanks, Sheriff. I'll admit I was suspicious, but you made me see how wrong I was.
Later, Bart gets into a stagecoach. That becomes a completely different coach just moments later. What could possibly explain this? On the episode, Two Beggars on Horseback, this man is an amazing shot, able to shoot through Maverick with a shotgun, no less, and hit the bad guy without even grazing Maverick. The episode Duel at Sundown, guest starring Clint Eastwood, aired just 1 month after Clint's big TV series Rawhide debuted.
You have no idea how good that makes me feel.
For some reason, Clint keeps mispronouncing Maverick's name.
Mr. Maverick? Your stage is waiting for you, Maverick. I'm not a bloodthirsty man, Mr. Maverick.
I know some of you are probably saying that Clint mispronounced Maverick's name on purpose. But how do we really know? I mean, would you tell him that he made a mistake? I mean, I'm just saying. Have you ever read any of the old Maverick comic books? Let me know in the comments below. You know, stock footage caused Maverick problems too on occasion. Whenever you see a stagecoach, count the horses. On a lot of westerns, the number will change from scene to scene. Like in the episode Rage for Vengeance, 4 horses turn into 6 by the time they get into town. Now, backdrops can be a problem, and in the episode The Burning Sky featuring Jack Kelly, there's something weird going on with this backdrop. Part of the mountain is cut off for some reason. For lots more Western fun, check out my TV Western playlist, and especially my 2 Western Goofs and Bloopers videos, where I put together a couple of different collections of funny and interesting bloopers and goofs from the greatest TV Westerns of all time. Hey, TV Crazy Man here. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the bell for future notifications. and hit the like. And comment. Let me know what you thought of this video. Give me some ideas for future videos. Have a great day.